Big. He's very big.
Yeah. Peter Cincotti. Have you heard Peter Cincotti? You've got to hear Peter Cincotti. He's so wonderful. He's so wonderful.
Where's Anna, my assistant? Get me Peter Cincotti right away.
Absolutely. Peter Cincotti, he's brilliant. He's terrific.
Really? I got to hear him. I love
There's a lot of great work out there. You know, you have to be interested in that genre, and you have to be interested in theater and jazz or the American Songbook. But you know what's really funny? When I work at the performing arts centers, sometimes they bring their kids. And the kids are like walking the theater like, oh, well, my parents bring me, you know. And then, you know, the curtain goes up and the overture plays and they're going, oh, you know, where's my Nintendo or whatever they play with today. I'm so, like, behind on that. And all of a sudden they get caught up in the experience of what it is to really be close and live and what a really grand performance is. And that there's a different proficiency to that art than there is to what they're used to seeing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And after the show, these kids come up to me and they go, wow, I really, really like this, and I didn't think I was going to like it, and I didn't even want to come. Mom, when can we come back? You know, they really love it. So it's important to expose kids to different things.
When I was in London last week, I saw Carousel.
Yeah, what a great show.
But people, the person I was with, or two people I was with, they didn't know the songs June is busting out all over.
The American standards.
And I'll Walk Alone,
right.
I'll Never Walk Alone.
Isn't that a great song?
Every graduation had that. Every
sure.
kid was crying.
Sure.
You'll never walk alone.
In fact, Marvin and I closed the show with that.
Really?
Yeah.
So everybody's crying, and June is busting out. It's a beautiful song.
Oh, sure.
And the beginning, Billy Bigelow. What's that big song he sings? That's the main song. If I loved you, time and again.
Oh God! Every time I hear that song, I get a chill.
So I'll do it. Take the thermometer. We'll go. So you have a record album out that people can hear your voice?
Yes, it's called The New Classics. It's called The New Classics, and you can get it in, there are no more record stores, isn't that a drag? But you could get it in Barnes & Noble or Amazon.com or Virgin, wherever they sell, you know, CDs. And I love it. It's called The New Classics because it really speaks to what you were just talking about. Are there any new writers that are writing really quality pieces? I have pieces on there from Elton John, Jobim.
I like Jobim. He's,
someone to light up my life.
Gilberto Jobim. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable piece. And I have a piece from Marvin on there. I have a piece from Herb. I have a piece from Burt Bacharach. There are a lot of different writers, you know, post-60s.
You're doing a great job. You know, when I talk to people, I think the greatest male vocalist today is Steve Lawrence.
Oh, God, I love Steve Lawrence.
I think his voice is out of sight.
And he's a great actor, too.
He's a great actor. He's a very comedic guy. And I talk to people in Israel about him, and nobody knows him. Nobody knows him.
Well, someone should make that introduction, either through the symphony or a performing arts center, because...
Are they still working, Steve and Edie?
I think they are.
Really?
I think, you know, every now and then they go and they do a special performance, and they go out there and they wow their audience. People just love them.
They're fantastic.
And they work in a way that is very specific and very classic.
Steve's vocal, he's so beautiful. And,
I know.
And he doesn't have a huge album or something. You know,
well, but it just goes to show you that you don't necessarily have to have a hit record to be someone who stays out there. And, I mean, I'm an example of that. I mean, I don't have a hit record on the charts, but I have my audience in the performing arts centers. I have my audience in the symphonies. When I come here to New York, thank God, we do well. I go all over the world, and I have my audience. And it just goes to show you that, you know, if you find that niche, that thing that you do, and you find that audience, you know.
Would you do Broadway?
Oh, I would love to do a Broadway show. You know, I did Catskills on Broadway for a while. Did you know that?
No, I didn't, but if you did, you upgraded everybody there.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Catskill on Broadway was Freddie Roman, Dick Capri, and Mousy Lawrence.
And when Marilyn left the show, and before Louise Duarte went in.
She's a nice girl, Louise.
Oh, Louise is terrific.
Very nice girl. Is that thing still running, Catskills on Broadway?
You know, they do it around the country. Every now and then, you know, you'll notice it's in theaters around the country. And people love it. They're terrific. And sometimes, like, you know, they'll switch the company. They'll have different people, you know, filling in and stuff. But I've been also, aside from doing the symphonies and the performing arts centers, I'm also doing lectures around the country on vocal technique. because I think it's something, you know, if I'm going to preserve an art form through a type of genre and projection.
What's your opinion about rap singers?
What do you mean?
Do you have an opinion? Can you listen to a rap singer, or it's impossible for you?
I look, you know how I look at the whole rap thing?
No.
Like it's a sort of contemporary social comment on something. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to last, and I have no idea. I don't have my finger on that pulse at all.
Yeah.
But my impression of it, when I see it, is that it's some sort of social comment on what's going on in our contemporary times and how that generation is looking at it. You know, it used to be just a sort of urban contemporary thing now. It's not that way anymore. You know, there are a lot of white kids that are rapping.
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot of, you know,
Yiddish guys doing it.
I just saw that
Hasidic
video.
guy.
I just saw that video, yeah.
One time we had Matis Yohu. He's a rap singer. He's a Hasidic rap singer.
Yeah, yeah.
It's taken over.
That's what I'm saying. It's become a sort of social comment
Right.
on how, you know, these kids sort of see things right now. How long will it last? I don't know. One day they have to grow up, so it's hard to say.
You know, I saw Jersey Boys in London also in Frankie Valli. I'm sure you've met him, and it's a huge hit. And
Yeah.
in London, it's even better than New York. I
Yeah.
saw it both places. Frankie was in between. You know, he was a little bit of rock, but he
Right.
also has some ballads in there. He did some great ballads.
Well, you know, I think you just hit the nail on the head. The thing is about anything that lasts is it always starts with a great song.
Right.
You know,
You're
and
right.
it always starts with
It's
a great
like
song.
a play needs a great book,
Look, you're going to build a building, you got to have a great foundation, and it's-
usually.
right. And if something is going to speak to the people, the material has to be something that will last through the ages. You know, Herb Bernstein, my orchestrator and my conductor, did a lot of those records for Frankie.
Oh, really?
In fact, a lot of the music that's in that show, some of them were Herb Bernstein's records, and not only Charlie Colella, but also Herb Bernstein. And when we sort of were listening to the music, we were saying that they were real solid songs. They weren't just songs that were going to speak to people in the 60s, but they could
No,
speak to people.
They had some, you know,
Later.
flash songs in the beginning,
Yeah.
but he has some everlasting songs in there.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, and I think that that's the ticket to his success.
But the play moves. It's a great book.
Oh, it's great.
Whoever wrote the book did a great job.
And people love those sort of
They
rags
walk
to
out
riches
happy.
success.
They're chapping.
Yeah.
They're happy. They're clapping.
Look, we're living in times
It's-
right now where people really do need to smile.
Right.
They really, really need something to smile about. And I think it's a show like that, they're to be applauded and really, really commended because it's a service to people.
And Mamma Mia.
You know, I know it's a huge success.
ABBA. Wow.
ABBA, the music is wonderful. You know, I didn't get it with the show.
Yeah, well, the show.
I didn't get it with
It's
it.
a schmata show, but
No,
all
it's
the
not a
songs.
schmata show. That's not fair. Come on. It's not a schmata show. It didn't speak to you. It didn't speak to me. But God knows it's speaking to people all over the world. So, you know, obviously somebody loves
No, but
it.
it's the music.
The music is
You
terrific, and the performers. They
You know how
really...
many times I saw Chorus Line?
How
when
many
I was
times?
a kid? Probably 8.
Oh, Chorus Line's a great book. It was a
But-
great book.
But the music.
Yes, the music is stellar. But, you see, they also accompanied it with a fabulous book. You know, the weakest thing that ever happens to a musical is, you know, it's always the book.
Right.
Sometimes you can walk away with great songs, but sometimes the book is a little, you know? With Chorus Line, it was such a great book along with a stellar score.
Right.
And that's really, and then, of course, they cast it so wonderfully. I mean,
I'll tell you another great show I saw is Billy Elliot.
tell me about that. I haven't seen it.
It's a great show.
I hear the kids are amazing in it.
Unbelievable.
Really?
But the guys who play Frankie Valli are better singers than Frankie Valli in all the shows.
Well, they're certainly wonderful interpreters of the music.
They're great.
Yeah, they really are. They really are wonderful.
All right, Julie, we're out of time.
We are?
You know what we're going to do? We'll take our crew. Next time you do a symphony in Hartford or something, we'll come out and we'll tape you. We'll play it live.
I would love that.
You know that?
I would love it. And
Arnie
then, of course,
Mazer, my senior producer, will book it for you. Make
and
sure
of course,
it
you know,
happens.
you'll do a little something in the front of the show.
We'll be seeing you next week. I hope you enjoyed our show. We gave you some great music from two very, very talented people, Judy Fisher and Julie Budd. See you next week.